Hello everyone and welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Matt, and in today's video we're gonna be doing something pretty scary. Mainly we're gonna be chopping my big Monsteras, my Albo Monstera and my Thai Constellation, because they're massive. They are so huge, they are outgrowing this space, and I need to do the chop. Now I've been procrastinating doing this because yeah, I don't know. I don't want to chop these plants. Like, I have such a big sentimental attachment to these plants, and I love how big and full they've gotten, but it's time because they are outgrowing the space, and also they are an absolute thrips magnet. And if you watched my previous couple of videos, they were definitely very thrips and very pest focused, because that's just what I've been dealing with, unfortunately. But I am taking back control. I'm not gonna let the pests get me down. I'm not gonna let them ruin my collection. And I feel like I am slowly turning a leaf. I'm definitely seeing a lot less thrips, which is great. I don't think I'm out of the woods yet. Like, thrips are very, very sneaky and they like to hide. But I need to chop these plants anyway. So we're gonna do that. We also might do some like other plant chores. I don't know, like I have a couple of things that I need to do, but we'll just see how much like energy and willpower I will have, because these two tasks on their own will be difficult. I think I want to start with my Thai Constellation. As you can see, she is pretty freaking big. She has a lot of leaves. She is definitely outgrowing this space. And if you're new to my channel, this is actually a very like special and sentimental plant to me, because it was a gift from a very, very dear friend of mine for my birthday. I would say now, has it been like 3 years already? I don't even remember. But yeah, I have never chopped this thing, and she got me this plant when these were still like quite pricey, not like crazy expensive, but you know, they were like a couple $100. So yeah, now these are like dirt freaking cheap, and you can get them in a grocery store for a couple of bucks. So I think it's time to chop this girly, because she needs a chop. And also I feel like it will just be nice to start over, because she does have a lot of leaves like this that are just like raggedy and battered and beaten. So I think a fresh start is what this plant and I really, really need. And you can also see how this plant is like growing forwards, because I never staked this Monstera. I don't know, I let it go wild, and I really like the growth pattern of it. However, because it's growing this way, that means it is extremely forward heavy, and it loves to tip over, which is why I actually have a couple of rocks in the pot of this plant. So yeah, I think just restarting it, maybe putting it on some kind of vertical support. I definitely don't want to use a moss pole for this plant, because I feel like moss poles on Monsteras are just so unnecessary. Like, they will grow huge as is. They really don't require moss poles. And also I hate moss poles. So we're not going to do a moss pole. However, my gut instinct is telling me to put this plant into semi-hydro. I don't know why. It could be because of Plants by Melissa. She is growing a lot of her Monsteras in pond, and I love her, and whatever that girlie says to do, I will do, because her plant collection is magnifique. So yeah, let's just do the chop. I'm talking because I am procrastinating, but I got my shears. And we're just gonna do the chopperoo. I think I'm gonna chop this top section. Oh, yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Also, I'm not sure how many of these I will keep. I will probably keep 2 sections, just, you know, as insurance cuttings, but the rest I will probably get rid of. And then when it comes to potting up this plant, I would like to have like a more bushy specimen, but I feel like having 2 of this plant in one pot would be a lot, because these are heavy rooters. They have an insane root system. We're actually probably gonna see the root system in this video. I think I'm gonna unpot it and see the situation. So yeah, let's just get to chopping. Okay, so I am just gonna do it. I'm so scared. I'm so freaking scared, y'all, but I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna chop it. Oh my God, she is a fig boy. Oh, she's a fig boy. Oh my God, holy. There's actually an aerial root in the pot, so I'm just gonna take that out. But wow, oh my God, look at that. Okay, you know what? This wasn't actually that scary, but man, what a relief. What a relief, because this has been something that I wanted to do for such a long time. But like I mentioned, I was just scared. I was so scared because I really didn't want to do anything to this plant, but it feels like a weight has been lifted off of my shoulders, and I'll be able to start this plant over. I'll be able to treat it in case it has thrips, and it'll just be a lot easier, you know what I mean? Here's a little bit of a close-up of the leaves. I mean, the Monstera Thai constellation must be one of the prettiest plants out there, and as you can see, I've managed to grow this plant pretty big. I mean, these can get like huge. These plants can get massive, but honestly, even at this size, this plant is quite unmanageable. So I'm gonna put this whole section into water, but I think I'm gonna get rid of this leaf down here because it's ugly, it's bent for whatever reason. So I'm just gonna, can I do this? Oh, can I do this? Oh my God. Oh, did I just break the whole? No, okay, I did. I thought I broke the stem. Okay, let me just get my shears. Why am I doing this? Why am I being an absolute buffoon when I could just be using my shears? There we go. Okay, that leaf was ugly anyway. So now I have a 3-leaf cutting. I don't know if I should maybe cut it again and have like a 2-leaf cutting or like a 1-leaf cutting, just because the more leaves you have, yes, the more energy like the cutting will have, but also it will have to sustain all of these leaves. But you know what? I'll try. It does have some aerial roots, and realistically, I might be able to get away with putting this into pon right away, but I don't want to risk it. Honestly, I don't want to risk it for the biscuit when it comes to this plant. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to treat this cutting and propagate it the good old way in water. I'm just going to go ahead and also chop up the rest of the plant, and then we will see what sections I will keep. So there we have another little cutting. This one also has an aerial root that's pretty long. I think I might keep this one as well. Like, this one looks really, really pretty. And I feel like I might, let's see. Let's take, let's just do like single node for the rest of these, and then we will see what we will do. Oh my God, these are so girthy, so girthy. There we go. Here we have another one. And oh my God, holy crap. Oh, whew. Another one. This is a workout. Like, you can tell just how girthy these are, but that is amazing. Lots and lots and lots of cutting. Now, the bottom part of the plant isn't looking too hot, so I honestly don't know if I will keep any of these leaves. Like, none of these look particularly pretty. They're all kind of beaten and battered. So I think what I'm gonna do is just get rid of the rest of this plant. So this is what we are left with, and yeah, I think I'm just gonna get rid of this. And again, I have been kind of contemplating whether I should like propagate it all or get rid of some of the parts, some of the sections, but honestly, the fact that this plant is so cheap and so readily available right now, it's just like, why would I even keep all of it? Plus, we have more than enough. I have that big section that I took, and then I have 3 more 1 leaf cuttings. I'm thinking maybe this one is kind of damaged, but like it's still fine. Now, what I think I want to do is remove it from the pot. I'm very curious to see the root situation on this plant because I know that I should have repotted this plant months ago, and I'm just curious to see what's going on inside. I'm curious to see how root bound it really is. Okay, I'm really curious to see what is going on inside of this pot. Very, very curious. I repotted this into this yellow planter. Oh, it's been a year. It's been a year for sure. So I'm just curious to see what's been going on. And also all of this soil from this plant I will be reusing in the garden outside. So none of it will go to waste. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Okay. Well, honestly, not a lot of root. Not a lot of root. I'm kind of disappointed. I am kind of disappointed. Like there is some root, but I was expecting a lot more. Like y'all, I was expecting this thing to be covered in roots, but also it looks like these aren't the healthiest roots, which is completely my fault because I've let this thing dry out way too much, and also for like the last couple of months I have been just watering it in place, not really, you know, taking it outside or like into my shower and giving it a proper water. So yeah, I'm not surprised that the root system isn't looking great, but hey, even more of a reason to actually restart this plant. And now I'm really just, I don't know, I'm just really thinking about putting it into pond. So if you have any experience growing Monsteras in pond, please let me know. All the tips and advice is very welcome. So yeah, but I am leaning towards pond. I don't know why, but like my gut is it's just telling me to go with semi-hydro for this one. And now I created a giant mess for no reason. Typical Matt behavior. Also, I totally forgot to mention that I got a little bit of a haircut. I don't know, I just kind of got tired of the whole bangs situation that I was rocking for a while there. And also, I have been really in my fitness girly era. Like I have been running, I have been lifting weights, like really just working on my fitness, and my hair, especially the bangs, were just always in the way. So yeah, we're back to being short, we're back to being out of the face. I don't like not having bangs because then you can really see my receding hairline, but it just is what it is. It's the curse of the man, and I just gotta accept it. Although my hair has been honestly a mess lately, like it's been falling out like crazy. And also my hairdresser today told me that I have gray hairs. I'm dead. I am dead. I don't know how I'm gonna continue living, but yeah, anyway. We're gonna move on to this monstrosity, which is my Monstera albo variegata, and as you can see, this thing is huge. It's bigger than me, and it has a lot of foliage. So we're gonna chop her. Another one that I was kind of scared of. But this plant is sustained only by this grow light that just blinded me. And this is the Grow Gang Pianta grow light, and honestly, I freaking love this grow bulb. It is amazing. The color temperature is beautiful. It looks sleek and chic in design, and I mean clearly it is an amazing grow light because like look at how much foliage there is. This plant constantly grows, which is why I desperately need to chop it because literally this thing pushes leaf after leaf after leaf. So yeah, less chatting, more cutting. I just want to see where I'm gonna cut it, and I think I'm gonna cut it over here. Oh my God. I don't know. This feels so amazing. Also, I see thrips, so I will probably not keep the top cutting. I will show you. You can see the fuckers over there. Do you see them? Do you see them? You probably won't be able to see them because they're like teeny tiny little buggers, but yeah, I don't fuck with that. I'm just actually gonna, oh God, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and take off that part of the leaf, I think, just so it doesn't spread, because if you don't know, thrips actually lay their eggs inside the plant tissue. So yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of this little section. Here we go. We have a nice little cutting, and I think I'm definitely gonna chop this up into multiple cuttings as well. I'm gonna keep for myself a couple of cuttings, and then I will also give some to friends because I know a couple of people that want this plant, so that's great. I love when I can actually propagate and share my plants with my friends. I mean, that's literally the best part of this hobby. I do want to chop this plant down to the bottom as well, and then just see like what I will keep and what I won't. I will probably do, again, just like single node cuttings. I think that's the best way to go. So yeah, here we go. Oh my God, this one has such a long aerial root, but there we go. Single cutting numero uno. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and do that for the rest of the cuttings. Some of these are very, very small, but I think actually this type of leaf would be a great gift because it's not big, so it's easy to transport. And if I see any leaves that are like significantly infested by thrips, obviously I won't keep those. This one is really, really nice. I really like the sectoral variegation on this one. Such a beauty. Okay, this cutting is really, really beautiful. I think I will keep this one and the top one, although this one has some kind of weird damage. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but all of the like brown yellow spots looks kind of fungal, although it could be actually my pest treatment. I think that's what happened here. I think I treated it and it just got scorched by the sun. But yeah, this is a nice cutting, so I might keep that. Like this leaf in particular is so beautiful. I love the marbling. And I also have these two cute little cuttings. I think these look adorable as well, so I'm gonna keep those. And then the rest I will get rid of. Wow, I have a lot of cuttings. That was not my intention. Oh well. And this thing was constantly drying out. You can see it has quite a good root system, but I'm sure a lot of these roots are also dead because again, this thing would just dry out so much. I just wasn't able to keep up with watering, which is another reason why I feel like semi-hydro pond would be the right decision for my Monsteras, because it would just make watering a lot easier. At least that's what I hope for. This is the top section. So this is the latest leaf, and it's not very variegated, and also it is compromised by thrips. So I don't know if I should like keep that or if I should just hack this up all into single node cuttings. Like, I don't know. I really like the variegation on some of these bottom leaves. So I don't know what to do. You know what? I'm just gonna do single nodes and then we will just see. We will just see what will happen and which plants I will keep. I will probably keep the ones with the like most beautiful variegation, obviously. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna keep this as a 2-leafer, so I'm just gonna remove this. So there we go. We have a 2-leaf cutting, a 1-leaf cutting, and another 2-leaf cutting. I have a lot of cuttings. You guys, I have 9 cuttings. Like, this is literally a Alba Monstera flower arrangement. Do I really need 9 cuttings? I don't think so. I think we should say goodbye to some of these. Like, I think so, honestly. So, you know what? I think I'm just gonna get rid of like these smaller ones. Although I do like the variegation on this sectoral variegation. It's not gonna last. So I'm just gonna get rid of these small ones. Oh, but this one is pretty. This one is also pretty. Okay, this one's damaged, so I guess we can get rid of that one. And then this one. This one has gorgeous variegation. Oh, should I keep these two? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let's keep those two. And then we have this 3-leaf one, which I think I feel like this one's gonna be a great starter plant for myself. Perhaps that one and then this one, or maybe this one. I feel like that would be a great starter plant for me, and then I could propagate the rest and give them away. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's gonna be the plan. Also, I'm gonna let these just callus over a little bit because they are quite thick stems. Okay, that was something, but I feel a lot better. Also, I do need to chop up my big Monstera deliciosa, but she is actually working on a brand new leaf. So I'm just gonna wait for that leaf to harden off, and then I will chop her because she is also massive. She is leaning like super hardcore. You can literally see it's the leaning tower of Monstera. So I just need to fix that. Because yeah, it's getting out of hand, and I will restart this one as well with all of these big, beautiful leaves. Do I need all of these Monsteras? Probably not. Am I gonna keep all of them? Probably, yeah. Look at this mess. Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up a little bit, and then I will meet you back here in just a jiffy. Another plant task that I want to get done is repot and extend the moss pole of my Philodendron Splendid. I can't even fit this into the camera. There we go, into the frame. That's what I wanted to say. It's at the top of the moss pole, actually severely outgrowing its moss pole, and I do want to repot it because right now it's just in this super, super tiny 12 centimeter or 15 centimeter pot, and it is quite unstable, and I feel like if I were to add another extension, which I want to do, it will just be incredibly unstable. So we gotta repot this girly. This is probably one of my favorite philodendrons at the moment. I love it. I love the way it grows. But yeah, eventually I only have one plant growing on this moss pole. So I am also thinking about maybe I should just chop this and then like propagate it and then like, you know, plant it up together so I can have like a fuller plant. Maybe that's what I should do instead of repotting. That is an interesting idea, because then I could also put those cuttings into pawn. And I do actually have this on a front opening moss pole, so it would be really easy to take like 2 cuttings. I don't know. No. You know what? I'm gonna extend it. And then once the extension reaches the top, then I will chop it. I will do a chop and extend, and I will plant some of these like more beautiful leaves back into the pot. Okay, I'm indecisive, okay? Okay, I lowered the camera so you can actually see what I'm doing. Now this is gonna be a little bit finicky, and also I did water this the other day, probably like, I feel like I watered it yesterday because it was so dry. Like this plant was completely drooped over. So yeah, it's not like a massive root system. So honestly, this upsize isn't necessarily because it needs more space. It's more so that it needs more stability, because if I'm gonna put like another extension on here, I just need to make it more stable, because as is, right now, it would just keep on falling over, and I don't want that. I actually don't really like using, like, extending my moss poles this much, just because I find that the higher or the bigger the moss pole, the harder it is to actually keep it moist and watered. And y'all know that I have a bit of a difficult time keeping my moss poles moist as is, and I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of moss poles, but I can't deny that plants absolutely love them. And I mean, this plant is a perfect example of how amazing moss poles truly are for climbing philodendrons, but they're a lot of work. And I'm sorry if anybody makes you believe that moss poles are not a lot of work. They are. They are a shit ton of work. They require so much care. You need to constantly water them. Even these like closed back moss poles, I feel like I constantly have to water them. I feel like they make a mess, like moss gets everywhere. And oh my God, the thing that I hate the most about moss poles is when you like let it dry out and then it becomes hydrophobic, and then when you water it and the water just spills everywhere. And I'm like, good God, get a grip. So there are a lot of cons to moss poles, but there are also, like, I just can't deny the pros. So yeah, I'm gonna keep this on a moss pole and I will see how it will do. I don't think I've ever even extended this type of moss pole to be that high, so I don't know how stable this is. I don't know how this is gonna work, but we're just gonna do it. Okay, so I repotted, uppotted the plant, and now let's do the dreaded moss pole extension. Okay, so hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing. I'm not good at my angles and actually showing you guys what I'm doing, but I'm sure y'all know by now how moss poles work and how to extend them. So this isn't a tutorial. This is just us doing plant chores together. I already have a prepared moss pole, and this is actually the moss is going everywhere. This is actually the honeycomb design, and the last moss pole on this plant is one of those like front closing ones, but honestly, I am not the biggest fan of those front closing ones. I feel like they just spill moss everywhere and it's just kind of a mess, and I don't even know if I'll be able to extend these two together. Oh, this might be a bit of a problem, but you know what? YOLO, let's just do it. Let's just try it. If I don't try it, I won't know. So yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a challenge, but oh yeah. The honeycomb moss pole is a lot bigger than the front-facing moss pole. Oh my God, should I just chop this plant? Should I just chop it? I can put it on the outside, but then I feel like it will just drip everywhere. You know what? I'm just gonna put it on the outside. Whatever. Okay, so this is kind of working. It's stable-ish, but yeah, this is quite a mess. This is quite big, and I can't even fit all of this into frame. I don't know if you'll be able to tell. I am blind, but yeah, she is massive, she is big, and let's just hope that this whole setup actually works. I have no idea. Also, I do have one of these like dripper things for the moss poles by Plant Scraper, but honestly, I don't know if I like those, if I'm being completely honest. I haven't made up my mind yet, but I mean, they're fine. I mean, they're prettier than the cup method that I am using thus far. So it's whatever. And I'm just gonna go ahead and use this little Velcro to tie the latest node. This feels very unstable, you guys. I mean, not like very unstable, but it feels unstable. And I could put like a plant stake on here, but like I don't want to do that. So I'm just gonna leave this as is. And honestly, if I don't like this, I'll just chop it and restart it and YOLO. Okay, I'm actually freaking sweating right now because it is hot in here. It is 25 degrees Celsius, and it is 72% humidity. Are you kidding me? I am sweating sweating. I'm sweating like hooker in church. But anyway, I think this is where I'm going to end the video. Thank you so much for joining me, accompanying me while I do my plant chores. I hope you managed to get some of your plant chores done while we chatted and had a fun time. I definitely didn't do all the things that I was supposed to, but God, those Monsteras took out all of my energy. So I actually treated them and now they're drying, and I'm just going to put them into some propagation vessels. Again, I'm just going to propagate those in water and pot them up in semi-hydro. You will definitely see updates on this, and there will probably be a part 2 of this plant chores little episode, so stay around for that and subscribe for more planty content. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to hit that like button. Also, YouTube has this new thing which is called hyping or hype, which when you like a video, you can basically hype it and then like it gets more engagement, I suppose, and that like helps the algorithm. And I believe you have 3 free hypes per week. So if you could do that for little old me, I would really appreciate that. But obviously, no pressure. I get it. Like, you only get 3 hypes per week. And obviously, there are a lot of creators out there. But I would really, really appreciate if you could do that. You know, help my channel out, help these videos get just a little bit more views, and, you know, spread this channel and spread the joy of the plant hobby. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a super amazing, fabulous day, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye. Whew, my lord. Also, I just have to show you. Now, don't judge me. Don't judge me, but like, look at that. There are so many cuttings. I'm just drying these. Also, yes, this is a soft box and like my painting card in my bathroom. Don't judge me. Okay, bye.